Tam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Purina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Fullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetre Kapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Amritaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavaha Gopdogha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsasudhir Bhokta Duktam Gita Amritam Mahate Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwadhama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairanati Paikaivartaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vachasaroja Mamalam Gitarthagandotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpatairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Parikalimala Pradvamshina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkipatamaham Bande Paramanandamadavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutahastun Divyaistavai Vedai Sanga Padakramo Parishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyana Vastita Tatkatina Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. This is Gita Dhyanam. Let's go into Gita. Atha Tritiyo Dhyayah Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means the chapter dealing with karma, how to act efficiently, effectively. We will read from verse number 30. We have to start from verse number 30. We'll try and do 5 verses today. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mayi Sarvani Karmani Sanyasad Atma Chetasa Sanyasyadhyatma Chetasa Nirashir Nirmamo Bhutva Yuddhasva Vigatajvaraha all verse Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasyad Dhyatma Chetasa Nirashi Nirmamo Bhutva Yudhyasva Vigatajvaraha. So he says Adhyatma Chetasa Dhyan with Dhyana Nishtha. We'll see the word meanings. Dhyana Nishtha. All your actions. Okay, all your actions. Mai, in me. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. We'll see all this. Okay. Nirashi, without tying your personal likes and dislikes into that action. Okay. Nirmama, not getting into this tangle. These are my people. This will give me this kind of result. This is what I stand to gain. This is what I stand to lose. Nirmama. Okay. Vigata Jvaraha. Vigata Jvaraha means anxiety. What will happen? What if I fail? Nobody ever thinks, what if I succeed? You always think, what if I fail? What if these things don't happen? You're planning to do something in the next few weeks. Next few weeks. What if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't go according to the plan? Vigata Jvaraha. Yudhyasva, Yudhkar. Okay, let us look at it from the angle of Arjuna first. And then look at it from our personal angles. Arjuna is in a battlefield. He is waging a war. He's not waging a war. He has been pushed into waging a war. He is not waging a war out of his own will. Given a choice, he would like to wage a war. But he is pushed into waging a war. Who's the opposite party? Kauravas. No problem there. He was okay with fighting the Kauravas. He was itching for a fight. But when he confronted the Kauravas, in the Kaurava army, he saw people with whom he had a great personal bonding. Bhishma, his grandfather, Drona, his teacher, and other friends, relatives. Let's take an instance. Let's say there is A and B. They are fighting over property, which is very common these days. Why these days? Always been. This is a Mahabharata property, fight over property. Okay, we are fighting over property. Who are the parties involved? Next door neighbor. Easy to fight. Next door neighbor has encroached into my property. No problem at all. I had a piece of land, somebody has encroached. No problem at all. I am fighting a battle. I am fighting a dispute. I am having a dispute with my ancestral property. Ancestral property. It is my grandfather's property. He left the property intestate. He left without making a will. Even if he had made a will, the people who had immediate access to all these documents burned the will, destroyed the will. Okay, and they claim this property is mine. Okay, all cases, it will happen to happen. Ghar ghar ki kahani, they say in Hindi. It happens in every house. Ghar ghar ki kahani. One son, few sisters. The son says, we have got you all married well. My father put so much of gold jewelry and there. We fed your people for 5 days, 6 days, and we have given for every occasion all these Sidhan and Sridhan and things like that. You don't have any share over property. That was the law till a long time. Then the law changed. They say even daughters are co-partners. The law changed further. Even illegitimate children are co-partners. It's a new law. So everybody and his uncle has impleaded into this dispute. So you're going to the court. So they say, these are the people who are claiming the rights from you. Property belongs to me. I have an equal share. Okay? And you look at who are the parties. Yeah, I can understand these parties, these cousins. Who is this? My sister and the husband. Hey, this is my dear cousin, same age. We played together. He has been, partners in mischief. That fellow is fighting. Hey, who is this fellow? He claims to be my distant relative or distant relative. So when you look at the parties, you feel hurt. My sister is disputing. Real life case. A fellow has 2 grounds of land. 2 grounds about how much? 4,800 square feet. Not familiar with that. Just a piece of land, maybe even 2,400 square feet, in which he has a single-storied house, which his father has built. Father passed away. His sister was going to college. She educated the sister, got her married, took a loan from his PF balance and got her married, took a loan against the house, made some improvements, got the sister married, and she settled down. This happened, let's say, 25 years ago. 1996, 2021. The property, 2,400 square feet, was worth, those days, about 10 lakh rupees. Today, the same property is worth 1.25 crores. Real estate value is appreciated. The sister has filed a notice. I am a co-partner. I have equal share in this property. Give me 62.5 lakhs. This fellow has a total saving from his pension, PF, everything equal to about 30 lakhs. And that's his livelihood. He says, just go back and think. On the same property, I borrowed money. I got your wedding done. I educated you. I took care of my parents. Father passed away. Mother passed away. Mother's brother also stayed with us. I take care of them. And on the sister's side is her husband. He says, no way. Either you get property share from your husband or with your brother, or go stay with you. Now this man is broken. This is my sister is fighting with me. After 25 years, what is the choice available? She will sell the property, give me 50%. Either you give me 50% cash, 62 lakhs, or sell the property, give me 50%. He says for 62, remaining 60 lakhs after this adjustment, that adjustment. Where will I get a property where I can go and stay? And let's say he's in the heart of the city, Chennai, somewhere in Adyar area. He says, I'm used to this area. This is where I grew up. He says, I don't care. Go stay in OMR. OMR is Old Mahabalipuram. Not even further. Go stay with your children who are now settled up. This man is broken. Arjuna has a very similar predicament. All of us have such predicaments. Krishna is not advising this man what to do. Krishna is only telling Arjuna what to do. From what is being advised to Arjuna, we have to understand how to handle this problem. Okay, my job here is not to tell you how to handle your property disputes or other disputes. But what is the general principle for handling conflicts? Arjuna is in a conflict. It is not just an ordinary problem. It's a yuddha. It's a battle. And he says, Dhyana Nishta Chetasa. Your priority must be very, very clear. Dhyana Nishta Chetasa. All your actions, all your karma, my sarvani karma, okay, sanyasya, do it with an attitude of Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. He's addressing Arjuna here, not addressing not the property fellow, dispute fellow. Don't say, how will Krishna, that fellow will it. I just gave you an example. He's telling Arjuna, you are going to fight a battle. And when you are fighting a battle, you will have to. Arjuna is worried about actually killing somebody. It is adharma. Killing my own people. It's going to cost me a lot of conflict. It's going to cost me a lot of pain. In this situation, what do I do? He says, okay, you do Ishvara Arpana. We will see all this in a little more in detail. Ishvara Arpana. Then Nirashi. Nirmama Bhutva. Don't attach too much importance to the outcome. Okay? There is going to be some problem. There is going to be an outcome. When you enter into a battle, there will be an outcome. There will be results. There will be painful outcome. There will be, I don't know, in war, I don't know where is the pleasure outcome. Maybe when you kill the enemy. Maybe when you feel there's something called Pyrrhic victory. The court passes an order, no, this property belongs to you. It tells, the sister also owns 60%, 50% of the property. The property may be sold. At the end of the day, when she's going to look at the brother's face, she's going to feel bad. Oh, and if we fight for 4 years, 5 years, we fought over this property. And in the meantime, the brother has become a sick person. And now COVID also, and I think doctors have said the jawab de diya. Now, if the brother passes away, the sister-in-law has to get out of the house. Do you think that person is going to be happy? So if you're going to look at these end results, you're definitely going to have what is called jwara. Jwara means like you're going to have regret. So it was started as a hurt, now it will also end up as a guilt. Okay? You have to do this duty, and having you are enjoying to do this duty, better do the duty. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. The outcome is to be taken as Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. Okay? We have to look a little more detailed into this. Like I said, mentioned in the last session, Arjun is not someone who needs to be in for whom how can you do Ishvara Arpana Buddhi on this month? You can't do Ishvara Arpana. You can only say, oh Lord, don't let me get this done. Okay, so Arjuna is not someone to whom you have to establish the validity of Bhagavad Gita. You don't have to talk to him about you should have Ishvara Bhakti. He is not an atheist or an agnostic. He's been brought up in a culture of Vedic education, Vedic Dharma. What has happened over the last 75 years is a sustained campaign, a sustained narrative to make you and me ashamed of our own 5,000 year plus older culture. Okay? Sad. No other faith, I repeat, has to go to the followers of the faith and tell them that, yeah, there is God, and there is you have to do. Unfortunately, this Vedic culture in the last 75 years, because of a sustained narrative, has made you ashamed of your own culture. That's why in everything people say, sir, how is it applicable to me? You find out how it's applicable. Have Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. There is no way out. How can you have Ishvara Arpana Buddhi? You are in a choiceless situation. You can't quit. You can't wish and will that things be otherwise. Wherever you go, you run into a blank wall. You have expectations from your near and dear ones. You find none of the expectations are met. Parents of children of marriageable age. Where would you like your children to be married? Somebody from our background, our varna, speaks our language. Vegetarian means vegetarian. One who has Ishvara Bhakti, the daughter-in-law should be like this. She should be respectful. The son-in-law should be respectful. We should have value for all this. The child comes and says, I don't value all this. I'm going to marry so and so. I have no value for your values. And that girl comes and says, not all this old fashioned, you have not come away from 1945. You're still in 1945. Don't you feel sad? You will feel sad. You will feel sad. If somebody says, no, I don't feel sad, he is bluffing. Or he is in a self-denial mode. You will feel sad. And whatever you say is not going to be accepted. It will be accepted provided you have two things with you. MP, money and power. You must be worth. Artha Kama should be with you. Otherwise, nobody cares. There's a reality. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kusvandana. So what's the pointing, raving, ranting, and posting in social media? Children have become like this has become like this has become like this. There's a choiceless situation. In this choiceless situation, who can you go to? You can go to a neighbor. So how can I go and share personal problems with my neighbor? Would you like to go and talk to your brothers and sisters? No, no, they are very jealous of me. They will say this fellow deserves it. And I don't have a guru with whom I can share. And then the guru says, I'm a Bhagavad Gita teacher, and I don't know how to handle this. I went, in case I have such situation, I go to my teacher, my Swamiji. He does patiently listens to the whole story. Then he tells me two solutions. एक काम करो मोहन, this fellow has some buddhi, at least not to disturb when we have Vedanta class. Okay, he says, there is one shloka called Sankata Nashana Ganesha Stotra. Do a sankalpa, Vartamana Vartishyamana Sankata Nivaranartham Sankarashanashana Stotra Jabam Karishye. 11 times in the morning, 11 times in the evening, chant. What does he mean? Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. When you can't handle problems, when everything seems against you, there is only one way out. Seek help. Seek help from that source which will help you without judging. And for this, you need Ishvara Bhakti. If I have to establish Ishvara to you, sorry, it is not going to work. If I have to say, no, it will work, Ishvara, you have to believe in Ishvara. We don't believe in Ishvara. We know Ishvara. Ishvara exists in everything. Not in everything. Ishvara exists as everything, manifests as everything. This vision is important. And to this Ishvara, this total Ishvara, I have a relationship. Bhagavata, Bhagavan. There's only one invariable, unchangeable relationship. And to this Bhagavan, I say, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. Hey Bhagavan, मैं रहूं सदा शरण तुम्हारी जय हो. I don't even ask for my. हे नटराज, मैं रहूं सदा शरण तुम्हारी जय हो, तुम्हारी जय हो. I'm stuck. भटका हुआ मेरा मन था, कोई मिल ना रहा था सहारा. लहरों से लड़ती हुई नाव को जैसे मिल ना रहा हो किनारा, मिल ना रहा हो किनारा. उस लड़खड़ाती हुई नाव को जो किसी ने किनारा दिखाया, वैसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम. I surrender to you, Ishwara. I have no other way out. You have to melt emotionally. What happens? Vigata Jwara, you are freed from the anxiety of the outcomes. You are freed from Nirmama, Nirahankara. You are freed from the helplessness that you go through. That's what he says. You're fighting. You have to fight Bhishma. There is choiceless. You can't run away. Because if you run away, they're going to imprison you. They'll chase you, put you in a dungeon. They want to publicize saying that Arjuna is a coward and his brothers are even worse. 13 years ago, they humiliated your wife in public. Now, having lost the war, they will take her as war booty, and she will go into Duryodhana's harem. Want that? There's no way out. You can't run away. You have to face. And the only way to face is you have to work for an outcome. And when the outcomes and when the situation seems helpless, overwhelming, Vigata Jwara, Nirmamo, Nirmashi, Bhutva, Mai Sarvani, surrender it to him. You're going through a severe illness. What will you do? When doctor says pray, no? What will you do? I don't know if my job is going to be established that there is Ishvara, you do this. But the beauty of our issue, our system, the beauty of our system is, they say you can pray like this. My Guru, Sankata Nashana Ganesha Sutra, 11 times in the morning, 11 times in the evening, up chant. How many days? Abhi karo yaar. It is not a dosage, 30 days, 40 days. You keep chanting. Do the sankalpa and chant. क्या होगा? सब ठीक हो जाएगा. सब ठीक हो जाएगा. I chant. After some time, I go back. You increase the dosage. Okay. Sometimes there's no way out. You have to face. What cannot be avoided, you have to endure. And let's remember something. Choiceless situations chasten you, humble you. You become an emotionally grown-up person. Whether you like it or not, you will go physically. By eating, overeating, you will anyway grow physically. But this needs to grow. You have to take the initiative to grow. And Bhagavad Gita says one way to initiate, and then you will face ups, downs in life. Arjun wanted to run away. He said, I don't want. I've heard that there is a lifestyle called sannyasa, in which I don't have to do anything. I would like to become a sannyasi. Arjun says, Krishna says, what a foolish thing. How can you run away from a thing? How can you run away and become a sannyasi? I think I told you, man. There was a Swami who borrowed a lot of money. Before he became a Swami, he had a lot of money. I mean, he was a businessman. He borrowed money from a bank and everything went fat. He applied for insolvency and disappeared. After 10 years, he surfaced as a Swami. And he's doing something somewhere. But what do people talk? They say, oh, this Swami, he didn't pay, he filed insolvency petition and now he has become a Swami. That will not leave you. 100 fellows may fall at your feet. One fellow says, this fellow didn't repay, man. Running away doesn't solve problems. Ishvara arpana buddhi, Ishvara prasada buddhi. Write it down if you want. IAB. IPB. Ishvara arpana buddhi, Ishvara prasada buddhi. I don't know what happens to the end results. I am free from hurt, guilt, anxiety, despair, fear. I am free from these emotions and my antakarana becomes free enough to manage what is to be done. I don't ask why, I ask what next. What is the most practical way? Okay, there's what he means in verse number 30. Let's go for 31. Ye me matamidam nityam, ye me matamidam nityam, anutishtanti manavaha, anutishtanti manavaha, shraddhavanto nasuyantaha, shraddhavanto nasuyantaha, shraddhavanto nasuyantaha, muchyante tebi karmabhihi, muchyante tebi karmabhihi. Okay, whole verse. Ye me matamidam nityam, anutishtanti manavaha, shraddhavanto nasuyantaha, Muchyante tepi karmabihi. Ye. Okay. That person. Okay. Manava, Mrishya. Okay. Anasuyantaha. Without being bogged down by the negative outcome. This is what I'll go through. This is what I'll happen. This papa, I will have this papa. I will have this papa. I will have this papa. See, one person just asked me a question a few days ago. Can I give up doing karma for my dead parents? My parents who passed away a few years ago. Every year I have to do Shraddha karma. Every month I have to do tarpat. Can I give it up? Okay. What answer do you give the person? Why is he asking this question? That's because this Asuya come. By giving up, he feels guilty. Looking around, he finds nobody is doing it. And the fellows who don't do it is, I am not bothered. You suddenly think, why is he bothered? He is also coming from the same community. He is not doing, why should I do? Look at the conflict one is going through. So if you are able to, if you're not able to, drop these kind of conflicts and Shraddha Nityam, when you are doing Ishvara Arpana, do it with Shraddha. Shraddhavantaha. Don't ask questions whether my Ishvara Arpana Buddhi will work. What if Ishvara doesn't listen? Real life problem. This is not imagined problems. Where does Shraddha go lacking? Few years ago, quite some time, maybe 6-7 years ago, much before this pandemic and all this came, I used to run this session at my home. I had about 10 people attending a face-to-face session. And there was a person who was so regular. She wouldn't miss any class whatsoever. She'll come 15 minutes earlier, set the place up. She'll stay back 15 minutes, clean the place up, ensure that prasad is distributed. She'll personally sit with me for some time with my wife and then leave. Unfortunately, something happened in the house. Her husband passed away suddenly. Obviously, they don't come to the class for so many days. And I went to condole. She told me, I have been so regular, sir, in your class. Every Tuesday, Friday, I've gone to Kapaleshwara temple. I've not missed a single Tuesday or a Friday in so many years. I've given golden Mangal Sutra to to Karpagambal. Karpagambal is the preceding deity of Kapaleshwara temple. I've given golden thali worth so many lakhs of rupees to Karpagambal. I've not missed any of your class. But see what has God done to me. Asuya. Shraddha lacking. So if you are able to do Ishvara Arpana without Anasuyanta, you have to have without Asuya. Without this, will it work? Will it not work? What if it doesn't work? I do what is expected to be done. It's a beautiful story. There were two fellows sitting doing japa. When will I reach Vaikuntha? Narada was going to Vaikuntha. So these people asked, please check with Mahavishnu and let me know when will I reach Vaikuntha. So Narada on his way back told this fellow, you have one more janma. And the other fellow was told, you have got as many janmas as there are leaves on these branches. That fellow said, oh, even after all I will get moksha someday. I will get to see Mahavishnu. He went back into Dhyana. Whereas to the fellow who was told one more janma, he said, are you after so many years, one more janma? Asuya. Mahavishnu appeared and told that fellow, you are a Shraddhavan, join me. Immediate moksha. That it will work should not be a doubt. If it is going to be a doubt, sorry, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for you. Okay, I don't want to give you too many psychological background, things like that. If you don't have faith in the psychology, it's not going to work anyway. They say, with some people, you should have total faith. One is astrology. The other is Vaidya. Is it not? You go to a Vaidya, doctor, and they say, will it work? Even one look at him, he doesn't look like a good doctor. You don't have a problem. It's not going to work for you. You go to an astrologer. And they say, no, I don't seem to have content. Don't go. So he says, idam, okay? He says, idam matam. This is my view. Krishna says, the teacher says here, Bhagavan in his Swarupa says, he says, ye me matam. This is my considered view. It is my firm view that Nityam anutishtanti, one who does it regularly. Nityam doesn't mean daily. This means consistently. Nityam anutishtanti, shraddhavantaha, anasuyantaha, one who is free from all doubts, one who does it with shraddha, muchyante, he is free. Te api karma vihi, he is free from. Okay, he is free from the negative effects of karma, the negative outcomes of karma. He is free from all these residual problems. This is what he says. So do we have problems in our daily life? Something, prayer doesn't seem very fashionable. For a lot of people, prayer doesn't seem fashionable. I was once traveling in one of those Shatabdis. There was a lady sitting there and doing her rosary. And she was, somebody said, how faithfully she is doing her rosary. I said, even in your culture, one is there. Why don't you do? Rather than do WhatsApp. Even you could have done. There's a problem. Asuya. You have no faith in the culture, 5,000-year culture that has come to you. You go to a village. You ask him, kya kar raha? Bhagwan ki marzi. There's something in your system which says Bhagwan ki marzi. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi is there in your system. Just invoke it. It says, invoke Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. Bringing Ishvara into your life is intelligent living. Bringing Ishvara into your life is accepting the situation as it is without willing or wishing it be different. Simple. You're driving a car, okay? Somewhere between 2 points, you have a flat. What's your immediate thought? What affects your composure? I wish I had checked. I told that fellow to check, he didn't check. He used the car, did not check. He must have done something. And something vigata, there is jwara inside. No solution, only jwara. No solution, only jwara. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. You don't have to have Ganesha, Sankatanashana Ganesha Stotra. You can chant it, no problem. But what is called there? First step is, there is a flat period. Why flat? There is a flat period. What next? Call somebody. There's so many helpline numbers. If flag down, somebody asks for help. Ultimately, you do all this. But before all doing all this, why there is boiling inside? Wayside though, call a friend. There are so many sites which are there to help you. So when we are talking about Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, it is about intelligent living. And when you consistently are able to offer in prayer, may my past be totally acceptable to me as it is. I'm not saying that I'm not going to try to change what can be changed in future. Okay. What can be changed in future? I have to initiate changes today, not will and wish that the past be different. Oh, I wish I had done. I wish I had brought my book along. I brought this chanting book. There's another chanting book which I didn't bring up. So what is the point in saying I wish I had brought that along? Maybe if it comes, I can say, okay, yeah, I wish. But if Ishvara Arpana Buddhi is being intelligently telling myself, don't waste time in wool gathering. I wish I had done this. I wish pure wool gathering. It doesn't get you anywhere. Wasteful investment, not zero minus return. Wasteful investment. If your thought process is, may I be objective. You don't even have to be objective. My past be totally acceptable to me. May it be acceptable to me. When you say it is acceptable to me, it quite simply means I am not willing or wishing that things be different. There is so many things surfacing from my unconscious. There are so many things surfacing from my unconscious. I don't will and wish that this not happen. Something is surfacing from my unconscious. Something triggers. I become angry. Hey, let's come to this person. Okay. The fellow who gets angry for no reason. You tell the person, why are you lying? Don't give me personal advice, free advice. Who wants your free advice? When somebody tells you, when somebody nearby, near and dear one tells you, you feel hurt. Feel hurt. So the unconscious surfaces. What is the unconscious? Perhaps I should not have asked this question. Perhaps I should not have done like this. Perhaps this is unconscious which is rising. Tell yourself, I accept what has risen from the unconscious. I accept the other person's reaction without willing or wishing that be different. A younger generation has lost respect. I did so much for them. This is how they repay. All this is not accepting the past as it is. Accept the past as it is what is happened. Yes, happened. Period. Ho gaya. Now think, what should I do now? My responses to the past can come from the platform of Ishvara Prasada. I can speak in a manner which does not give agitation to the other party or to myself. And what is the best way? Hey Parameshwara, help me. Uddharamam. Hey Govind, hey Gopal, Uddharamam. Say it silently. And also say, may the other person discover the pleased person in themselves. Because the person is displeased, he is behaving like that. No? May the other person discover the pleased. Hey, Krishna did all this, say this to Arjuna. Krishna said, right. These are all my Guru. May the other person discover the pleased person in themselves. If I have said something inappropriate, I wish I had not said. I have said this. I take the initiative to hereafter filter what I say carefully. Help me, Lord. That is bringing Ishvara into your life. That is intelligent living. Over choiceless situations, over which you have no control, you say, may I get help from a source which is much superior to me, which I recognize. If you are able to do that, you are a Shraddhava. That's what he says in verse number 30. One. Let's look at 32. Etvedadabhyasuyanta etvedadabhyasuyanta nanutishtanti me matam nanutishtanti me matam etvedadabhyasuyanta suyanta nanutishtanti me matam सर्वज्ञान विमूढ़ांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः सर्वज्ञान विमूढ़ांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः. Full verse. एत्वेददप्यसूयन्त नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञान विमूढ़ांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः. He says, understand. Acha. Abhyasuyantah, the fellow who doubts. See, God has let me down. I did so many days. I went to Ayyappa Malai from the age of 18 to the age of 60. 50 years I went. God did not listen to my prayers. What was your prayer? I have to ask him. What did you ask for? Okay. I wanted this. Artha Kama. All Artha Kama that you desire will be subject to a law. The law is called the law of demand and supply. I have unlimited wants. Unfortunately, supply is limited. This is a law. And law is an expression of Ishvara. The law is not away from Ishvara. So when I bring Ishvara into my life, it means I am alive to a reality that wants are unlimited, supply is limited. And if at the end of 50 years I say I went to 50 yatras and still Lord has not fulfilled my desire, you understand. You are a jnana, you know everything, but you are a vimudha. Not just ordinary mudha, vimudha. You know the law. You know this is how the law works. Yet you thought it will work. You had a hope that things would work. Perhaps it would have worked. If it did not work, did you have the openness? Did you have the objectivity to appreciate that it is quite possible? When wants are unlimited and supply is limited, it's quite possible that somebody is going to be left out. It's a real life situation. I did. A few years ago, quite some time, nearly almost 15 or so years ago. We were all working for, I was working in, we were working for a certain position. We hope to be selected as general managers in particular organization. The total number of seats were 40. The number of candidates were 400. So what is the average? 10%. 10% is the average. So a person didn't get selected. So what is his immediate reaction? The board is biased against me. What has happened to him? What has happened to him? Chetasa nashtam. Objectivity destroyed. He has become prejudiced. Why? He is not alive. Even he knows all the time. There are 400. Out of 400, 40 are going to be selected. If I am not going to be selected, it is not the fault of the board. It is not my fault. There are various combination of factors which has ensured that this has not happened. Now, if I'm going to come to a conclusion, say, I did everything properly, the board is prejudiced. Or you say, Ishvara let me down. How many times I went for this promotion? How many pujas I did? Ishvara did not give me promotion. Perhaps Ishvara thought you're not fit for it. If you really believed in Ishvara, and Ishvara said, right, not now. I'll give you when the time comes. I'll give you when the time. I think I told you the story a few weeks ago. A fellow put all his savings and bought tickets for he and wife and 4 sons for travel by Titanic. 1 week before the departure, or maybe 4 days before the departure, the youngest son or 1 son before that got bitten by a dog. And the son was quarantined. The wife said, look, I and the son will stay back, the others can go. He said, no, we'll all be go. Otherwise, we won't go. It's a non-refundable ticket. So all his life savings, gone. On the day he stood there crying, yeah, I'm missing this opportunity. 3 days later, with a garland in hand, he was looking for the dog. Garland it. Ishvara, you help me. Perhaps it's for your good. Who knows? Perhaps. I'll tell you what. This is intelligent. If you can bring Ishvara into your life, you are an intelligent person. When you bring Ishvara into your life, you are alive to realities. The reality is, it can happen this way as well. You appreciate things which are not under your control. You are in a flight takes off. Ask the air hostess, can you guarantee safe landing? Can you give it to me in writing? She says, the captain has logged so many hours that he has not even had a bump. I'm terrified. She will say, have a drink, sleep. There is no control over your landing. There is no control over your takeoff. There is no control over your flight either. Yet you take the flight every day. And when the flight crashes, nobody survives. Not even the black box, only the black box survives. Don't you take it every day? You have faith in that system. You don't have faith in the cosmic unit. The cosmic whole is sustained by an intelligent, conscious being. You don't have faith in that. Asuya, I have to establish that for you. It's been ruined in the last 75 years. It's always like that. Hindus never had this problem. I don't like to call myself. Vedic parampara, this problem was never there. Prarabdha, you have to face it. Go through it. People used to say, what else to do? Go through it. They lived whatever problems they had with it properly. They suffered a lot of pain. Internally, they were free. Muchyante. Free here. Inner leisure here. He radiated a certain calmness. So what? Somebody gets a call. Sir, your ship sank, sir. What? So what? What is not that he has not heard it properly? Not willing to accept the reality. The moment you accept it, what next? Accept reality. And if you don't accept reality, you are a vimudha. He says a person is a vimudha. And what is that vimudha? Nashtan chetasa. Okay? You lose objectivity in life. And the biggest loss in life is loss of objectivity. You become so judgmental. You suffer from a persecution complex. The whole world is against me. Ishvara is against me. Navagraha is against me. In India, we have all this. Planets are against me. Tarot cards are against me. The inner leisure is destroyed. Would you like that? It's a question in us. Let's go to the next one. We'll try and do I would like to complete up to 30. And it's not as something that I have to complete, but we have done enough. We are very intelligent beings. All of you have, you don't have asuya. You are all Shraddhavanta. There is no doubt about it. That's why you're coming to my class regularly. Not my class, Krishna's class regularly. Otherwise, you wouldn't be coming. But what happens is, you're doing it, it is here, assimilate, absorb, let it reflect in your actions. Try to abide in that knowledge. When you abide in that knowledge, you live in that knowledge. Living in the knowledge is you don't have to speak. You're going through a problem, you say, no, I'm enjoying. Tell yourself, I'm going through this problem. There are some difficulties. I surrender to Ishvara. Yes, I wish this is how it should happen. This is not under my control. And because it is not under my control, I'm not going to say, why did I have this? Why did I pursue this line? Why did I do this line? I wish I had not done this a year and a half ago. I wish I had done this differently. It is not going to get you anywhere. It's a wasteful investment. You want it? Really want it? If you really want it, Ishvara, I surrender to you. Do what is good for me. Yes, Shreya, to me. I am willing to accept whatever comes my way as Ishvara Prasada. You have Prasanna Chetasa, which we talked about in our earlier chapter. And if it's not going to be there, you have Nashta Chetasa, a constant gloomy look. Somebody says, I was like, I had to say that. Nashta Chetasa, you want that? Choose. That's what Krishna says. Let's go to verse number 33. Sadrisham cheshtate swasyaha. Sadrisham cheshtase swasyaha. Prakritir jnanavanapi. Prakritir jnanavanapi. Prakritim yanti bhutani. Prakritim yanti bhutani. Nigraha kim karishyati. Nigraha kim karishyati. Full verse. Sadrisham cheshtate swasyaha. Prakritir jnanavanapi. Prakritim yanti bhutani. Nigraha kim karishyati. Okay? He says, this is a very important verse in as much as I have asuya. I don't seem to have shraddha. So what is the spin-off? I condemn myself. Humse hoga nahi. I am, we have that beautiful expression. It is not there, in our Vedic culture, we have nothing called evil. We have no Satan. In some culture, it is easy to say, Satan is doing all this to me. So what do? Pay something extra, that fellow will come and exorcist. Throw water on it. I'm ready to throw water. Let's see what goes. So he says, Sadrisham Prakriti. Now suppose I have a particular urge. I have a particular urge. I know people who have grown up with me very long time, some friends who have grown up with me for more than 50 plus years. Many of us met as under 10s. Now we are all in our 60s, and I met a lot of them today. And it was a nice get together. Many of them enjoy a drink or two. What do I go and tell them there? Drinking is bad for health. Bhagavad Gita won't work. They ask me, hey, come here, join us. I didn't have to say anything. This another person who said, has he ever joined us for this purpose? But has he ever given us up? No. He continues to be affectionate to all of us, accepts us as we are, without dubbing you as a boo, that. Even if I say something, they all laugh. So, understand, some people have this inclination. Some people like this, some people like playing cards. And you should see, they maintain notebooks, proper accounts. So you have to give me so much, I have to give you so much, proper accounts running over 3 days. Money changes hands. Somebody likes speed diving, somebody likes to see movies. I like to see some nice TV shows. Somebody says, why only this show? I said, no, let me finish 6 seasons. There are 7 seasons, let me finish this, and then I'll go to another season. There's one fellow who sees about different serials. I said, no, I'll complete one serial at a time. We all have our inclinations. So therefore, don't condemn yourself. Don't justify yourself also. This is my inclination, what to do? Don't condemn, don't justify. These are inclinations. And these inclinations come prakriti. Prakriti means we are a combination of sattva, rajas, and tamoguna. The combination of sattva, rajas, tamoguna determines your personality. Some people are highly sattvic. Right from childhood, the person is inclined towards puja. I know a young boy, hardly 19 years, he sits and does puja for hours together. And hours together. Absorbed. Puja, 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 puja. His older brother doesn't do it. Doesn't waste time, useless time. So I went to that place once and the mother said, Sarji, why is this happening? I said, how do I know? Then I quoted, it's Prakriti. Can't you make him do it? I said, you mother cannot do, what will I do? I said, what little respect he has for me will be lost if I try. He thinks this fellow is a banker, he knows something, he's a good communication skills teacher. Now suppose I tell him, you have to do what your brother is doing. He'll say, sir, they have a dog, they will let it loose on me someday. That makes sense. It is Prakriti. And when it is Prakriti, okay, Kim karishyati? How will you forcibly control it? No, I will control it. It will not work. Arjuna's context is to say, what is your natural inclination? You say you want to run away and become a sannyasi, but what's your natural inclination? You were a sannyasi. Okay, let's go back to that episode. After the Lakh Palace was burned down, they all were disguised as monks and going about. And they stumbled upon Draupadi's Swayamvar. Okay, they stumbled upon Draupadi's Swayamvara. So many kings tried. It didn't work. Hey, you were in a monk's robe. You could have quietly walked away. You said, no, I would like to try. Why would you like to try? Because Prakriti, there was an inclination. When others were doing archery, though you were in a robe, the inner mind told you, if only I did, if only I did, if only I could. Understand, this is you. And if you are going to become sannyasi without fighting Bhishma Drona, you will go sit as a net. You will say, if only I had fought, if only I had fought, if wasteful mental investment. Wasteful. Nursing, nurturing, wasteful, false beliefs, expectations. So this is Prakriti. You better do it. So here he says, Prakriti better do it. He says, I'm not advocating you to all mischief. He says, please don't live in a self-denial mode. Don't say I'm otherwise okay. There are some people who I'm otherwise okay. I'm an occasional drinker. One fellow will come and say, yeah, this is the occasion, let's drink. Our Swamiji used to say no to the first drink. Nobody will offer you again. Nobody will offer you. I was sitting with so many people. None of them even showed me anything. They gave me some snacks to eat. So if you have the inclination, don't condemn this. Don't condemn the other man as well. It's a culture. It is the inclination. So, and you cannot control those inclinations by forcefulness. You have to grow out of them. And to grow out of them, karma yoga is useful. Karma yoga alone will help you grow out of these natural inclinations. If you say, may my actions be dedicatable. I have a drink. Can I offer it to Shiva? You will grow over it. Thursday is a dry day. Why dry day? Ishvara Arpana. Let these things drop off. You don't give them up. They drop off. When the higher is stronger, the lower drops off. Urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityor mukshiyama. There is a fruit growing covered by the skin. When it is not ripe, whatever you try, you cannot peel it. And if you peel it, what comes out is raw, uneatable. When it is ripe, the peel falls off. After 273 days in your garbha, comes out. You say, no, I would like to keep it for another 526 days. No, not healthy for you, not healthy for the what's inside. So let it grow. May you grow over it. Okay. Sadrisham. So you cannot forcibly remove all this. Forcibly would be a denial, would only come back with vengeance. There is a treatment of it. I mean, please don't immediately come and say, sir, for drugs you have to do this. Yeah, there are certain things you have to do. This set in general that if you even for any kind of rehabilitation program, so there has got to be some forceful thing. And we're not talking to that extreme. We're talking about a general inclination. We're not talking about extremes. He says, Arjuna, even when you were in the monk dress, you wanted to compete and win for Draupadi. How can you get out of this? You will always wish. You will always wish. No cinema actor has ever retired properly. Have you seen? One more movie he will not. And he will never graduate into playing senior roles. He will still want to be. At 85 also, he will want to be. Yeah, young man. It's very difficult to get out of this. Unless you can't forcibly get it. You have to grow. Okay. So we look at verse number 34. I'll read. And we'll see it next week. Indriyesyendriyasyarthe Indriyasyendriyasyarthe Ragadveshau vyavasthitau Tayor navashamagachet Hyas. Okay. Tayor navashamagachet Tau hyasya paripanthinau Tau hyasya paripanthinau. He says, this prakriti happens. How does it happen? It happens because two things. Indriya, sense organs, and Indriyasya artha, the field in which the Indriyas operate. Okay, these two, and you have two more. One is called raga, the other is called dvesha. Indriya artha, raga, dvesha, tayor, vasham, na agachet. Understand, they are deadly. Don't get into their vasha. Have dislike. Have like, have dislike. They are natural. Prakriti will come to you. by nature. Yeah, I am a little allergic to certain kind of smokes. I am allergic to cigarette smoke. I am allergic to agarbatti smoke put in an air-conditioned atmosphere. There are some people, in India only they do. I have not seen it ever. The fellow will put bright, then he will bring a very sweet smelling, fragrant agarbatti, light it and put it. 15th minute, I will have a headache. I dislike it. I tell him, please take it. But I don't yell at them. Okay? So, Tayor, na vasham agachet. Why you should not come? Please understand, now in your progress towards objectivity, in your progress towards inner leisure, they are obstacles, shatru. They destroy your peace of mind. They have this capacity. If you come in their worship, we will see more in our next section. Let's see what Krishna says, how to handle the pairs of opposites. Let's look at it in our next session. May you have a wonderful week. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samastas kino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini desho yam shobharahitah brahmana santu nirbhaya सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सत्कर्मणि तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय, सब संतों की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय हो, बजरंग बली की जय जय। May I have sustained commitment to pursuit of self-knowledge. May I not invest emotionally in nurturing false beliefs, expectations, and hopes. Help me, Ishwar.